Welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're wrestling with a topic that really touches every single one of us, yet it often feels like one of life's greatest paradoxes. The art of letting go.
It's true. It's something we think about, maybe we read about, but the actual doing of it, the emotional
Hmm.
side, that's incredibly complex.
Yeah.
So for our insights today, we're drawing from a really thought-provoking piece by Rainey Name. It's called The Art of Letting Go from Thought Catalog.
Okay.
And this isn't just about, moving on in a simple sense. It's about digging into those deep-seated reasons we cling to things or people or situations,
Mm-hmm.
and then finding pathways to freedom, really.
Right. So our mission for you today is to unpack why letting go feels so incredibly hard, especially when it's something you genuinely wanted, maybe a dream opportunity or a person you loved, or even just, these expectations we build up about how life should be.
Exactly.
And more importantly, we'll explore some practical mindsets and maybe some surprising insights from the article that can genuinely make this whole process, well, maybe not easy, but easier.
Yeah, easier is probably the right word. The piece actually starts by setting the stage with a pretty profound thought from Paulo Coelho. He suggests that if you're brave enough to say goodbye, life will reward you with a new hello.
That's quite a promise.
It is a bold promise, isn't it? So, okay, let's dive in and unpack how we get to that new hello.
All right. So, to start untangling why letting go feels so impossible sometimes, the article kicks off with this ancient proverb, and it really shifts your perspective. It goes, "What is destined will reach you, even if it be underneath two mountains. What is not destined will not reach you, even if it be between your two lips."
Wow. Yeah, that's fascinating because it kind of flips our usual script, doesn't it?
Totally.
We often think, the biggest rewards come for the hardest struggles, that we have to force things. But this proverb, it suggests maybe true alignment isn't about brute force at all.
Right.
It's more about recognizing a sort of natural resonance,
Yeah.
that things truly meant for you tend to flow into your life, maybe almost effortlessly sometimes, even against all odds, as the article says.
So what does that mean for us then? For you listening?
Wow.
It means that fighting relentlessly for something that just feels off, misaligned. It might bring short-lived gains, sure, but maybe also just this persistent, grinding lack of ease.
Exactly. It highlights this very human tendency we have to complicate life sometimes, as the author puts it, when perhaps the wiser path is trusting a more natural flow.
But how do you know? How do you tell the difference?
That's the key question, isn't it? It raises this distinction. Are you pushing through a healthy challenge? Or are you genuinely, resisting the natural current, pushing against a solid wall when maybe there's a door opening somewhere else? The article suggests looking for consistent pain and distress. That might be the signal.
Okay, that makes sense. And that feeling of being caught, between two really difficult choices, that's universal. Elizabeth Gilbert nails this. The article quotes her saying, "The only thing more unthinkable than leaving was staying. The only thing more impossible than staying was leaving."
Oh, yeah. That perfectly captures that awful, agonizing, stuck feeling.
It really does.
And the common trap, as the author points out, is feeling like letting go is somehow a waste of time, because of all the effort and the time you've already put in.
The sunk cost fallacy.
Exactly that. But the article directly refutes this. It emphasizes that nothing is ever a waste of time if we're learning, if we're growing from the experience, even from the mistakes.
That's such a powerful reframing because it's so hard to really internalize that nothing is a waste when the emotional investment feels huge.
Right.
So the critical warning here, it seems, is that holding on to, let's say, toxic situations or toxic people just because you fear that wasted effort, that only sets you up for a pretty miserable life down the road.
Exactly. That's the danger. Instead, the article really champions the profound power in letting go. It describes this power as bringing more peace and serenity than being stuck in situations that make your heart a bit heavier each and every day. So it's about a conscious choice, really. Are you choosing peace, or are you choosing stubborn, maybe even self-defeating persistence?
Choosing peace. Okay. And what's the reward then for making that, let's face it, courageous choice?
Well, the article circles back to that hopeful idea we mentioned earlier from Coelho.
The new hello.
Yeah, that in every goodbye, there's potentially a new hello waiting. And the point is, this isn't just some feel-good platitude. It's meant to be a powerful outlook that actually helps you shift your focus and move forward, maybe even faster.
Okay, so it's functional, not just hopeful.
Right. The core idea is familiar. One door closes, another opens. But what's really illuminating is the analogy the author uses here. They say, imagine you are a key to multiple doors, and you just think you can only open one door.
Huh. That's a great image.
Isn't it? It makes you realize how we often limit our own perspective. It emphasizes our own, well, so much potential, so many talents, so many kind things to give back to the world. We just forget sometimes.
It's almost like our minds get stuck, like you said, just rattling the same doorknob over and over.
Yeah.
When we're already holding a whole keyring for other doors. The article really drives home that some endings are not bad. Sometimes they are not even endings, just bridges to new beginnings.
Bridges, I like that.
Yeah. It's actively encouraging you, the listener, to see the sheer number of opportunities waiting once you release that tight grip on a previous focus.
But okay, let's get back to why we cling so tightly.
Yeah.
Even when we kind of know it's not serving us anymore.
Right, the root cause.
The piece dives into a primary reason, using this anonymous quote. I think part of the reason we hold on to something so tight is because we fear something so great won't happen twice.
Oh, man, that hits home. And that fear shows up in so many ways, doesn't it?
It really does.
Thinking you'll never find someone as great or a job that fulfilling or feel that passionate about something ever again. It's very human, very understandable fear.
It absolutely is. However, the article offers this really powerful reassurance. It directly challenges that scarcity mindset. It says, and I'm quoting roughly here, you will always find something or someone that makes you feel this way again. New passions will emerge and good things will happen twice and as many times as they want.
That's incredibly hopeful. A reminder that life is abundant, maybe, not limited.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's an abundance mindset applied to letting go.
I think, we can all probably reflect on our own lives.
Yeah.
Think back to moments where you thought you would never move on from someone or something, only to look back later and realize, wow, letting go was absolutely the right thing, maybe even the best thing.
Definitely. It reminds us, as the article puts it, that great things happen to us all the time in different shapes or forms. We just like to focus on the things that are not so great.
We focus on the lacks.
We do. So perhaps the real question isn't just about the situation itself holding you back.
Right.
Maybe is your reluctance to let go actually the definition of fear itself?
Ooh, that's deep.
Yeah. And the article's call to action here is pretty stark.
Yeah.
Be fearless in letting go. That's a huge leap, I know, for many of us.
Fearless. Okay. And that brings us, I think, to the final point, which might be the most powerful, maybe even the most uncomfortable truth in the piece.
Which is?
See it for what is, not what you want it to be. Just facing a reality head on.
It really is about that radical acceptance, isn't it? If letting go feels like the only truly viable option, the article suggests, well, it often means the thing or the person has already let you go.
That's tough to hear, but probably true sometimes.
Yeah. The author says the mind has a funny way of tricking us into believing certain things, maybe to soften the blow, protect our pride,
Yeah.
But the core insight here is about acknowledging reality. Basically, what you see is what you get.
So applying that, if an opportunity really did pass you by or someone genuinely let you go or, I don't know, a blessing went to someone else, it just wasn't meant for you in that specific form. And a different blessing or opportunity or connection will come. It's not necessarily a loss. Maybe it's more of a redirection.
A redirection. I like that too.
Right.
And as you continue learning this profound art of letting go, the article gives this really comprehensive and deeply personal list of things to release.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
It encourages us to let go of your fear, of your past, of your mistakes, of your insecurities, of your failures, of your self-doubt, all that heavy stuff.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is. And the ultimate insight here, maybe the hardest part of letting go, is this. Forgive yourself enough to let go of the parts of you that dim your light. It's presented as this active process of self-liberation.
Forgive yourself. Okay, what a profound journey, really, into the art of letting go. We've explored trusting destiny's flow, finding real power in releasing what weighs us down.
Discovering those new doors of potential waiting for us.
Yeah, overcoming that deep-seated fear of scarcity. And finally, embracing reality and the truly liberating act of self-forgiveness.
This whole deep dive, it really reveals that letting go isn't just a single one-time act, is it? It's more like a continuous, courageous practice. Yeah. It requires self-awareness and definitely self-compassion.
Yeah.
It's about actively creating space for what truly belongs in your life and, what helps your own light shine brightest.
So as you reflect on everything we've discussed today, maybe consider this final thought. What parts of yourself are you holding on to right now that might be inadvertently dimming your own light.